The audio of this entire chapter was spoken by artificial intelligence, not a human. It copied the way the narrator, that's me, spoke in the rest of the video and then imitated it when I gave it the text. There are a few weird words, but hope it's tolerable.
Fuel. You should carry 50% more than you expect to use for a trip in case conditions deteriorate and you use more fuel heading into strong winds and choppy seas. The latest weather is on the Bureau of Meteorology website. Other places such as newspaper, apps or even the radio all get their data from the Bureau of Meteorology, so go to their website for the latest weather. Sea and swell. Wind builds waves. Wave height depends upon a number of factors including how fast the wind is blowing, how long it has been blowing and how far over the water it has been blowing from. The harder it blows, the longer it blows, and the further it blows, the bigger the waves. Every night on TV the weather reporter tells us what the sea and swell is going to be. Sea and swell are just different waves. The sea is the waves caused by the local wind, while a swell was caused by winds far, far away. When the local wind dies down, the local sea waves die down, but swells keep on going far from what caused them. For example, in the Southern Ocean they have huge storms, and the longer the wind blows and the harder it blows, the bigger the waves become, and then the waves from these big storms leave the Southern Ocean and enter the Indian Ocean and travel far up the coast to us and to other areas. They are called swell when they leave the area they were started in. So remember, sea is caused by local sea breezes and swell is caused by winds from far away. Sea waves and swell waves can both overlap, and together can cause huge waves. Isobars. On a weather map, you can work out wind strength by looking at the isobars. Isobars are those lines you see drawn on the map, and the more there are and the closer they are, the stronger you know the winds will be. Pressure systems. On a weather map you will see low pressure and high pressure systems. These are moving masses of air that bring warmer air or colder air. They move in a circular way, and in Australia the low pressure systems have clockwise winds, such as cyclone, and the high pressure systems that bring warmer weather have anti-clockwise winds. Tide. The depth numbers you see on a chart are the depth at that place at the lowest low tide. The number on the chart that shows the depth is called chart datum. Chart datum is the lowest level that the water is expected to fall to at that spot. Today's tide is the amount of water over or more than the number that is on the chart. So if the high tide today is 1 meter, this means the water will be 1 meter greater than the depth number that is written on the chart. So if the chart said that there is already 2 meters depth at a certain spot, and the tide for today at that place is 1 meter, then we add the 2 meters depth that we see on the chart plus 1 meter tide we are going to have, and you therefore get a total of 3 meters of water at that spot at that time. Tide is more, greater than. The tide adds to what the chart says. Tide makes it deeper. Charts. Before you go boating you should check the marine chart for the area. Charts give information about depths, tidal range, hazards and anchorages. Charts show you what the special marks in the area mean and what the sectored lights in the area mean. Australian Builder's Plate. A boat has an Australian Builder's Plate to give the boat's buoyancy performance. It will tell you if the boat has level flotation or basic flotation. It tells you the maximum engine power, the maximum number of people that the boat can carry and the load weight. Emergency situations. You must assist people in distress unless it's too dangerous for you, or you are unable to, or if someone else is assisting them. You also do not have to tow somebody else's boat. You only need to save people's lives, people, not their boat. In an emergency situation, the first thing to do is to make all people put on life jackets. Distress signals. Internationally recognized distress signals include a gun fired at regular intervals, a continuous foghorn, as well as red or orange flares. But it also includes smoke and flames, and even a person slowly waving their arms overhead. They are all distress signals, and you need to go and give them assistance. Basic flotation. Basic flotation and level flotation are engineering terms. Most trailer-able-sized boats have basic flotation. This means they have enough basic flotation to basically prevent the boat and its maximum load from sinking. Never ever swim away from boat that is sinking but still has basic flotation, because it will basically help you to float. It may be upside down or on its side somehow, but it will still basically float and keep you safe. Breakdown pan. If you break down and can't start the motor, you should anchor. You do not call Mayday. Mayday is only for grave and imminent danger. A breakdown where there is no grave and imminent danger is only a pan, not a Mayday. Pan is used for an urgent message regarding the safety of the vessel or a person. Refueling. When refueling, turn off everything that uses electricity, gas or liquid fuel. Take portable fuel tanks out of the boat. Know how much fuel the tanks take, so they don't overflow if the fuel expands. Listen for the tank breathers. The tank breather is the place where air escapes from a tank while you are filling it with fuel. You can hear the sound change when the tank is almost full. Fire. When fighting a fire, the most important thing is saving people, so get someone to take charge of the safety gear and move the passengers as far as possible from the fire before you even think about fighting the fire. Seasick. If a person is seasick, get them to sit in the open air at a part of the boat with the lowest amount of motion. That is usually near the stern. Hypothermia. Hypothermia happens when there is a major loss of heat from the body, and that then causes a lowering of the body's core temperature. It's really dangerous. Trim. Trim is adjusting the way the boat sits in the water. You do this by adjusting the motor or adjusting the trim tabs on some boats while they are moving. When you trim the bow up, that means you make the front of the boat point up a bit more. When you trim the bow down, that makes the front of the boat go down more. When you are traveling with the waves following you, you'll be going down the waves, a bit like a surfer, and there is a risk of the bow diving down into the bottom of the wave in front, so you need to trim the bow up a bit so the front lifts up. When going into the waves, however, the opposite happens, and the waves can push the bow up, so you usually trim the bow down a little. Heel. While trim is the forward, backward angle of the boat, heel is the left, right lean of the boat. So if it's leaning to the right or leaning to the left, it is called heeling. To fix the heel of the boat, you move the weight inside of the boat. You move the boat weight central or move it across to one side to stop it from heeling or to help it to come back to the upright. Astern. The back of a boat is called the stern. If a boat is said to be going astern, what it means is going backwards, going in reverse. Occulting lights. Sometimes a light is flashing and sometimes it is occulting. Occulting is the opposite to flashing. A flash is when there is mostly darkness and a smaller time when the light is on. Occulting is when it is mostly light with a small time of dark. AS off-phase lights. When a light is on for the same time as off, then it is called an AS off-phase light. Equal light and dark. Freeboard. Freeboard is the amount of the boat above the water that stops it sinking. Like a dam wall, the height of the dam wall above the water level is its freeboard. Once the water gets to the top of the dam wall, it spills over. In a boat, once the water comes over the freeboard, it sinks the boat. So you want to keep the freeboard as high as needed for the weather conditions. Helm. The helm is the steering of a boat. Helm to starboard means steer the boat right.